In 1872, the Civil War was a close memory. The first patent was issued by the U.S. Patent Office, and Ulysses S. Grant was re-elected as the 18th president. But the bigger news was happening in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Locomotive number 2816 was rolling off the assembly line of the Baldwin Locomotive Works bound for Carson City, Nevada. The Virginia and Truckee Railroad ordered the high-stepping 440 American-style locomotive to pull its express passenger trains from Reno to Virginia City. They'd give her the number 11, and she would be named the Reno. The V&T was so proud of their newest locomotive, the crews always kept the brightwork on the engine polished and the locomotive spotlessly clean. She would go on to get the nickname the Brass Betsy. After 1924, the railroad was in decline and needed capital, so they began to sell off their little-used equipment to the movie studios. But number 11 was kept as the railroad's favorite. In 1938, with war on the horizon and rail traffic at an all-time low, the Virginia and Truckee Railroad decided to close the line to Virginia City and lease its last 440 to the movie studios so it could be preserved on film. The Reno made its last run to Virginia City with carloads of rail fans, and that would mark the end of the line for the Reno on the V&T. Shortly after that last trip, number 11 was shipped to California to start her new life as a movie star. She had a very active career, appearing in dozens of movies and TV shows for Paramount, MGM, United Artists, Desilu, and Warner Brothers, just to name a few. In 1945, she was sold to MGM Studios, and she remained working there until 1970, when she was sold at auction to the old Tucson Studios in Tucson, Arizona. The Reno would become the centerpiece of the studio's Old West operations. The number 11 was used extensively through the 70s and early 80s. But in 1988, the 116-year-old boiler needed major repair, and the revenue generated by its use didn't warrant the work. So a diesel air compressor was installed in a boxcar, and the engine would run on air for the remainder of its life. A fire at the studio in 1995 officially ended number 11's useful life as a movie star. The Reno was cosmetically restored for use as a prop, but it would never run under its own power. The oldest surviving Virginia and Truckee locomotive was now a rusting hulk of its former self. On August 13, 2021, 149 years after the V&T originally ordered the number 11, the Virginia and Truckee Railroad purchased the Reno for restoration, and she will once again be home on the line she was built to run. Congratulations to the Virginia and Truckee Railroad and all those who helped bring the Reno home.